Hello, I'm Alice. This is the morning after the last day of Challenge Alice's Live on £1 a day below the poverty line, and I thought I'd do a video blog to kind of wrap up what I've learnt over the course of the month. Absolutely. I'm ashamed to say that before this challenge I don't actually know how much I spent on food in a month. I rarely plan food or budgeted for them at all. I certainly was someone that on autopilot would always throw food out without really checking whether parts of it were still good to go. I'm now bragging to everyone I can about my mould scraped loaves and anyone that will listen about the bargains I found in the Whoopsie aisles. I've had a few bargains from the Whoopsie aisles. Probably top of the pops has been the 8p live oyster that I ate, which was actually the first time I'd ever had a live oyster. Freaked me out to start with, but now I definitely would try it again. Whether I'd find it for 8p or not is another question. The bones I obtained free from the butchers, which made a skeleton soup and lasted most of the week. Before this challenge, I'd always associated food poverty with the third world. I've now learned that it's actually right here in the UK, on our very doorsteps. The amount of people that aren't just doing this challenge, but this is something that they have to face every single day, is staggering. I've been reading about the number of parents who regularly skip meals in order to feed their children, and in our country I just don't think that's acceptable. From speaking to the Trussell Trust, last year they helped over 900,000 people in our country. That's just one food bank, and it doesn't even take into account the amount of people who may be too proud or too embarrassed to get the help. Well, my strategy in my first week was very different to where I ended up. I begun with spending £7 for the first week and spending a lot on supermarket own brands, cheap fillers like pasta, rice and bread, and a lot of tins saw me through the week, but what I was finding was there was very little in the way of fresh food. So I altered my strategy in week 2 with the aim of getting more of a balance. I hit up some of the reduced section, or as I term them, the Whoopsie aisles, and found that that seemed to be the best way to obtain fresh food at a cheap cost. Please do. I think that everyone should do it for a week, because it really makes you appreciate what you have and what it may be like for people that have to face these constraints every day. It's also a really good exercise in testing your resolve, and if you can raise some money for charity, then I think we should all give it a try, at least for a week. Top tip number 1. Make the most of supermarket own brands for your basic fillers such as pasta, rice and bread. Top tip number 2. Cook meals in bulk and freeze what you can for a later day. Top tip number 3. Get to your supermarket at prime time to get those reductions of fresh food. The prime time is normally between 7 and 9, but ask your supermarket staff politely when the best time to get down there is, as it does vary locally. Top tip number 4. Just because something's been reduced doesn't mean it won't be reduced a little bit further, so it's worth asking the staff in the supermarkets politely if they wouldn't mind knocking it down a bit for you. I've got some great bargains that way myself. Top tip number 5. Try something new. Definitely get yourselves down to Skitchen in Bristol if you're ever in that direction. And finally, top tip number 6. Don't stick religiously to expiry dates. I found that food has been perfectly fine sort of the next day. It's just a judgment call really. And the scratch and sniff method works best as well. Or just shave off your little mouldy bits, that's what I do. You're absolutely right. The point is that nobody in this country should be facing these constraints on a daily basis. I've taken action to try and raise awareness of food poverty in our country, and if I can make a few people think about that, then I consider this challenge a success. But I don't profess to suggest that the challenge has even scratched the surface of what that must be like. Well, it's funny you should ask that question. My New Year's resolution this year was, rather than collect a couple and then probably break them in the first couple of weeks, what I'm looking to do over the course of the next 12 months is 12 resolutions, 12 months, 12 challenges. So this first month has seen me living on £1 a day below the poverty line, and I've learnt to be better with money. Next month, I'm looking to be friendlier, and I'm going to befriend a stranger every day for the month. Now, I'm fully expecting rejection, but I'm really curious as well about the people that I'm going to meet. So keep following challengealice.com to follow my adventures throughout the month and for the rest of the year. Thanks very much for following the blog this month. Please, please, please do donate to the Trussell Trust. You can grab the link on how to do so from my website. All from me just now. See you soon.
Yeah, I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. I'm on my way to what I want from this world. And years from now, you'll make it to the next world. And everything that you receive, I'm yours.